Walking tours are a fantastic way to learn about any city, and London is no different. London is vast and sprawling, to the point that it can sometimes feel unknowable. Sure, you can see all of the city's major attractions in a few days, but what if you want to see more? Do you want to see the finest of what London has to offer? These fascinating London walking tours dive beneath the city's surface and provide a unique viewpoint. Watch this video as we walk you through the top 5 recommended places. There's no better way to learn about London than by hearing about the people and the places that make it up. But where do you begin? Even though we consider ourselves very knowledgeable about the capital, we enjoy walking tours to explore new city areas or see sites we've passed 1,000 times with fresh eyes. A London walking tour is a terrific opportunity to immerse yourself in the British city's fascinating, curious, and occasionally bizarre world. From Harry Potter to the Beatles to exploring the role different locales have played in historical events. Number 5. Harry Potter Walking Tour. It's nearly difficult to visit London without succumbing to Harry Potter madness. Whether you are the type of kid who sat up all night reading the next Harry Potter book before your pals, or you're just a casual HP fan, this trip will put a grin on your dial. After all, this isn't your run-of-the-mill Harry Potter walking tour. Sure, you could take a stroll through the city and see a few attractions, but why limit yourself when you can go completely Potter crazy? Discover filming sites, secret locations that inspired J.K. Rowling, and even the house your sorting hat assigns you to. While doing so, you'll be able to see the city's key attractions. Whether you're 5 or 85, you'll appreciate how well organized this is. Number 4. London Sherlock Holmes Walking Tour. Walking tour of London Sherlock Holmes should be on your list when visiting London. Do you enjoy solving puzzles and putting your reasoning abilities to the test? Or do you love Benedict Cumberbatch and a deerstalker? Whatever the case may be, this Sherlock Holmes tour may be ideal for you. It's a 2-hour journey through London where you'll see everything associated with the city's most famous detective. Examine scenes from Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's works. Then look for filming locations for the recently aired BBC drama and its cinematic version. It is a fantastic way to see Sherlock-related places and some of London's most famous monuments. Number 3. London Food Tour. A half-day food tour of London. Take our word for it, the food in London City is genuinely outstanding. Wandering about is equivalent to going on a culinary adventure. The trouble with this trip is that there are so many options that it's easy to become lost. It's always a letdown to waste a good lunch on a bad London restaurant. Take a great 3-hour tour of the London Bridge area to avoid that situation. You'll have the opportunity to visit the Borough Market before traveling to a neighborhood pub to sample meats, cheeses, and beers. Finish your journey with a sampling of British desserts. It's an excellent introduction to the culinary scene in London. Number 2. Soho Walking Tour, London. Want to see a diverse culture? How about a walking tour of London's Soho? There's no denying that Soho is one of London's most excellent districts. But it's not all about the stunning attire and perfectly prepared cocktails. For decades, Soho has been the epicenter of London's counterculture, youth protests, and LGBTQ+ movement. Yes, Soho is a soulful neighborhood that is courageous and genuinely great. On this walking tour, you'll learn everything there is to know about the city. It will take you from the beginning of Soho's history to the present day, enthralling you with numerous fascinating stories. We have a question. Are you a tourophile? If, like us, you're a little bit cheese-obsessed, why not take one of the best walking tours London has to offer? Number 1. London Cheese Tour. A cheese tour on the streets of London. Be friends with the local British who can become your handy guide on this walking tour. Along the journey, you'll come across rich Stilton, classic British cheddars, and even an Italian drunk cheese. Do you want to know the best part? This trip is jam-packed with samples from the shop where Winston Churchill bought his cheese, to the famed Fortnum & Mason department store. You'll also be able to put your dairy knowledge to the test with a fun pop quiz about all things cheese. This is just a small list of what London has to offer. If you want to learn more, subscribe to our channel and ring the bell icon so you don't miss out on new updates. Till then, see you next time!